The great warrior poet Caniel Omari West once said the words, "I am a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck. I like my dick sucked." Pictured. Sick fuck. Fuck. Jesus. But what if I was to tell you there exists sicker fucks? How's it going, guys? Welcome to Fatberg. Today we got another breakdown for you. This is what I've been waiting to do for a little while, and it's a lot to digest. I tried my best to condense it down just to what needs to be said about it. But today we're going to be talking about the Enumclaw horse sex case, or the Mr.Hands video. Oh, Jesus. I was actually kind of regretting this one as I started it, because when I started, this will be a fun, fucking dumb one to do, and then as it goes on, it's just a bunch of horse fucking. So not as fun to do as it was on paper, but here we are, and let's get started. So, to begin this one, we have to go back to the 70s, and in the 1970s, a series of legal reforms were made to laws governing certain sex acts. For the longest time, things like oral or anal sex were technically illegal, but as society modernized, these laws were repealed in most places, and that brings us to Washington State. In 1976, they began revisiting their laws governing these things. They had one law that had pretty broad coverage over all of that stuff, and it stated, "Every person who shall carnally know in any manner any animal or bird, or who shall carnally know any male or female person, by the anus or mouth or tongue, or who shall voluntarily submit to such knowledge, or who shall attempt sexual intercourse with a dead body, shall be guilty of sodomy." Now, what this had in effect inadvertently done is legalized beastiality, and what I am now realizing upon reading that a second time, they also legalized necrophilia. By just jumbling all this shit together, they legalized a lot of stuff that probably should not have been legal. Now, we're going to fast forward to the early 2000s. In the city of Enumclaw, a group of zoophiles have discovered this loophole, let's say. The group gathered in the area, and unknowing to the local farms, they trespassed and committed acts of bestiality on their land, which they then filmed and distributed online in forums and Zoophile chat rooms. There was a significant number of people involved in this, and Enumclaw had become known online as I'm going to say a bestiality playground of sorts. However, there were three men primarily involved in the criminal investigation. The men in question: James Michael Tate, Douglas Spink, and Kenneth Pinion. Pinion would become known as Mr. Hands. Now, Kenneth is the main point of interest here. See, Pinion wasn't just some random freak. He was an engineer who worked for Boeing for about 8 years. Sadly, however, Pinion suffered a severe motorcycle accident. The resulting nerve damage made it difficult for him to feel certain things, and in an attempt to regain sexual gratification, he began to, let's say, experiment. Now, this started off simply enough, just using large sex toys, your fucking Bad Dragon type shit, and eventually he discovered through the internet the Zoophile community. After some back and forth, he met with the Enumclaw crew or gang there. Now, Pinion, he gained a specific interest in the horses. I'm not going to let you guess why. You're going to find out why. Pinion grew so obsessed with having sex with horses, he actually planned to build a house with a stable for his own horse, which I assume he would also fuck, but this would also be kind of difficult because he did have a wife and children that he was hiding all this from. However, this would all come to a halt when one night Pinion and the gang attempted to court a specific horse, which, no lie, they referred to as Big Dick. It was a literal nickname. They successfully got the horse to perform, but there was a problem. Pinion had suffered a serious injury due to the size, hint hint wink wink, of the horse. And on July 2nd, 2005, he was dumped outside a Enumclaw hospital where he would be pronounced dead.
I think I'm dying here, man.
What follows is a criminal investigation, being what they were doing with the animals was technically legal. Most of the men were simply charged with trespassing. In the midst of all this, a video would surface, reportedly of the night Pinion died. The video shows Kenneth Pinion having sex with the horse in question. Kenneth would be referred to in the video as Mr.Hands. The video would be referred to as Two Guys, One Horse, or simply Mr. Hands. The video was short and not particularly high quality, but at the time, it was some of the most shocking footage you could watch on the internet. And yeah, after my research, we'll call it research, I could absolutely see how a horse would very easily kill a man through butt play, but let's not get into that too much. However, as pointed out in other videos breaking down the incident, it's very likely this isn't actually footage of Kenneth dying. There's a good chance that this is Kenneth Pinion, but during another unrelated incident, as pointed out in Wang's video on the subject, it just wouldn't really make sense. Like, why would they knowingly dump their dead friend on a hospital? Like, well, we gotta go upload this one, guys, so let's go edit and throw that together. Like, no, this probably wasn't the night that it happened, but it is a real video. Now, after this, a movie would be made documenting the incident called Zoo, and it was reported that by 2015, residents in the area still refused to acknowledge the incident. I wonder why. James Tate, one of the three men, would actually be caught committing bestiality and arrested in the mid-2000s, and Washington would revise its penal code, specifically making it illegal, much to the dismay of the zoophile community, who was actually kind of pissed at Pinion for fucking everything up. Now, so that's the story as it goes. I agree with others' take that this is not a video of the event in question. Again, it just kind of shows the horse doing its thing, and everything looks as good as it could be. I didn't watch the whole fucking thing, and I don't recommend you do either, for multiple reasons. Not just because it's, you know, gross, but depending on where you are, it may actually be illegal to look at such a thing. So yeah, don't. I was doing it for research. Fuck. Put that on the file. This was research into a topic for no real reason other than my gross interest, so I don't know if that makes it better. But that is the story of Two Guys, One Horse, or Mr. Hands, and the Enumclaw horsefucker gang. I mean, they just say bestiality. They could have been doing a lot of stuff. I don't know what was on those farms.